Hi, I'm Ken Jr. and welcome to Train World TV. Here you'll find the latest and greatest in model trains. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new to our channel, we're glad you're here, and I invite you to click the subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you'll never miss a video. Now, we'd also love to send you exclusive deals and special announcements that you won't find anywhere else. So be sure to sign up for our emails, TW Text, and stay connected with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Now, you can find all the links in the description box below or trainworld.com. And without further ado, enjoy today's video. All right, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to Train World TV. And we have another special edition of Train World TV with Tony Cook from Model Railroad News, ModelTrainResource.com. How you doing, Tony?
I'm doing good, Ken. Happy New Year. How are you doing so far this year?
Happy New Year. We should have brought the hats and the blowers and everything. But another new year. New trains, new pre-orders,
lots of trains. So
much to talk about it. New deals too. It's crazy. So lots to go over tonight. You wanted a list of what we could go over, and it's just like too much. It is.
Crazy. No, well, when you said that a few days ago, like let's do a show on new stuff, I'm like, what new stuff? Where do you want to start? There's been so much product both delivering and being announced and that we know is in production and on the water, as they say. I can't ever remember a time in the hobby where literally it is stacking up.
That's right. It's so much going on, and it's great time to be in the hobby.
Oh, yeah.
We have people from Texas tonight and Tucson. So how's everyone today? So we appreciate everyone out there for joining us. So we're going to go over all different scales tonight, G, O, O and 30, HO, and scale, and we're going to cover it all. Tony is recovering from a cold over there, and I'm also coughing a little bit. So we're going to get through and grind through tonight. It's January, so 'tis the season.
That's what I've had a couple people say. Yeah, a little bit of ear and sinus stuff and dizzy and pressure and all that. And I had more people say, oh, yeah, 'tis the season. It's like, yeah, it is.
That's it. So we will kick it off, and we're going to start off with our homepage at trainworld.com. And Tony, we'll start with the biggest stuff with G scale. And for the G scale, we're going to start with new arrivals. So usually we have a nice easy tab for new arrivals, and we'll click over to G scale. I got it opened already, but there's so many new arrivals right now. But some items that I really wanted to talk to were these SD70s from MTH. They're coming out with more paint schemes, different paint schemes. The UP was actually a re-release because they sold out so quickly the first time around. And I actually have a sample here for you, Tony, but look how neat these are.
In that spirit of 1943 is a beauty. And boy, on a big G scale locomotive, I can't imagine. But that's of all the different, and there's so many of these heritage and special liveries now.
I'm going to try not to break this. so hold on one second. Let's see if I could stop sharing for 1 second. Let's make this screen bigger. But yeah, this is a monster. But look at the detail.
Beautiful.
MTHG scale. I mean, you need to work out. You
Yeah,
train. It wasn't easy getting it from the floor.
that's the benefit of these. Yeah, get you a couple of those and just do some, yeah.
That's
Oh,
right.
boy, it is pretty.
That's
And I
right.
assume
And
sound and smoke, all that good stuff
sound,
because it's
proto
MTH. Yeah.
sound, smoke. It's just unbelievable.
Wow.
We were doing a video on this the other day. The 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 noise it makes, like the sound, is so loud. We had to find the control volume to make it lower. That's how loud it was. It was like crazy.
That's
But
great for outdoors though. If you run in the
yes,
backyard, yeah, you'd never know that, but in the store, yeah. But wow, that's awesome.
it was
Wow.
just a beautiful paint scheme. And Tony, this was done in HO scale. O scale, they made it right as well,
It
and
that
S
paint scheme,
scale.
oh, a bunch of
Yeah,
different companies, and yeah, and that Spirit of 43, about
right.
anything you model or scale wise, there you can find that someplace. But boy, that would be the king of them all to have a G scale.
That's right.
That
I
is
would, I think it's probably one of the nicest paint scheme of all time for trains. Just really super nice. We'll put that back down.
that's a whole group of new MTH G scale SD70s you got rolling in right now.
So the UP with the flag, and then they have a bunch of different other paint schemes. The New York Central Heritage, Norfolk Southern. So a bunch of different paint schemes. And so lots of great stuff for G scale. These just came in just in time for the holidays. The box,
Yeah, I remember us talking about those recently. Yeah, it's awesome.
yeah. So
And I see that the mobile station, the WLAN from LGB Markland, and
correct.
there's that new LGB Norfolk Southern set, and I have some pictures of it when we get to talking about it. And
Okay.
uh, that's also going to be reviewed by my reviewer. Is this control system? Because everybody's talking on all what kind of throttle, what kind of
Yeah.
things are available, and we had not reviewed this yet. But my guy Justin Sobek has that to go with that LGB set, and we're going to review that system as well because there's so many, and that's such a big important part of your system is how are you running your trains.
It's the big question that we get. It's very important, but yeah, they keep on producing a lot of components to run your trains. So Markland LGB is doing a great job with that. And for pre-orders, and which you could go easily, pre-orders G scale. There's tons. There's actually two new catalogs that were just announced, Tony. LGB just announced it yesterday or Monday. I think today's Wednesday. So
I think it's Wednesday. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
2 days ago, LGB just announced new items in the new catalog, and Piko just announced a new catalog. However, we didn't get the pricing yet, so we're still working on Piko. LGB just announced new product, and we were going to go over some other items, but Tony, I don't even think you saw the new LGB items yet.
No, I have not. I knew they were. I had talked
Okay.
with the cousins that distribute the stuff here in the U.S. yesterday on some HO items, and they'd mentioned it's been so busy because we got the G stuff going, but no, I haven't seen that from them yet. So
So
this is some of the new stuff?
this is some of the new stuff. This is a re-release for the Christmas Steins locomotive. It sold out very quickly the first time around. That Christmas tree actually has some LED lights, which is pretty
Oh,
neat.
no, I didn't know that. Cool.
Yeah, so very neat. This is a re-release. This is Nevada Central Railroad, and this is going to be their big U.S. engine this year. Has matching passenger cars and I believe a boxcar, but beautiful engine.
Oh, I like
Got
that
the
with
American flag.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool. Wow.
really cute detail. So that was just announced. We're taking pre-orders now. Um, what we were going to talk about, we were actually going to talk about the P42s, which have been so popular. A lot of people pre-ordering. Hopefully this year they'll come out, but that's with every scale. All the Amtrak paint schemes have done so well, Tony.
Oh, yeah. Again, there's so many different schemes there. Like there's the Pepsi can one, and
Mhm.
that's the new phase 6 of kind of a regular scheme, but that's just a couple of a whole bunch. And I know we got the Athearn ones. That Athearn HO one has been on everybody's, hey, when is that coming out?
Right,
And I
right.
see you do have those in stock, but yeah, wow,
We
cool. I
talked
see
about
LGB
those.
has got a couple more of these coming.
Yeah, and passenger cars to go with them. And then along with today, they announced their new 2024 Christmas boxcar. This is probably one of the best sellers every year for G scale. Everybody wants that dated Christmas
Mhm.
boxcar and or passenger car, but this is the 2024 LGB version.
Wow.
So it's going to be green. I think last year was red, if I'm
It
not
was red,
mistaken.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and a
These are
Halloween
those
car. Do I see a
Nevada.
Halloween? Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time they're doing I guess a Stein's matching passenger car for a Halloween item.
Oh,
So
wow, that's
that's pretty
cool.
cool.
I mean, we were saying that on the Halloween show a few months ago, how that's the new Christmas or whatever, that
Yeah,
there's so many yearly or special edition cars. So, wow, that's cool to see.
that's right. So it's getting popular. Um, so that and this is the Nevada Central again. So nice couple of new announcements for LGB, keeping things exciting. And as well, MTH has a bunch of G scale that we're taking pre-orders. And Tony, we actually just announced this. We just listed this a day or two ago. This is a Train World exclusive. We're going to do a U.S. Army G scale MTH engine, and it came out really nice. Andy did a great job with the design. So like that camouflage army look, and that's going to be MTH G scale. And
I did catch that on looking on your site or poking around for things in the last day, because I was emailing you to ask for high res artwork on that. It's like, wow, that looks cool. Yeah.
yep. And we're also doing a G scale
Ah,
Halloween. So now you can match all these freight cars. We have so many freight cars from Pico and LGB now making Halloween. So we thought it would be a great time to do a nice G scale engine. And
wow.
it actually has a rest in peace tombstone in the front. So pretty cute and neat. So MTA.
That's awesome. Yeah, kind of it's like a Boston and Maine or Rock Island kind of EMD paint scheme. How much am I getting paid? I see you put my picture on the side.
Yeah. The Franken Tony. That's
That's
it.
awesome. Well, that's very in fact, that's another thing we were saying is we need a Halloween locomotive, and there you go.
Yeah.
Wow, very
And
cool.
Bachman, of course, has so many freight cars and rolling stock coming out. So lots of really great stuff with G scale. So really neat.
Did
All
we get
right.
the Norfolk Southern before we get away from G
Yeah.
scale?
Yeah. Let's go
That
to NS.
let me
I think
find
it's 29911.
that set. I think is so neat. It's going to be on the cover of Model Railroad News.
Oh, get out of here.
And yeah, here's some pictures. This is Justin Sobek and his young son Jax, who I think Jax just had his 10th birthday, and it was right around Christmas. So he's one of those kids that no, you don't get anything for your birthday because it's Christmas too, or something. I don't know, but they're working on a review of this, and so we can get a
Oh,
little look
that's awesome.
at these. I was just amazed at all the extras. See the handrail on the end of the car. I love the paint and lettering work on it. I know I need to look this up. I want to say the tank car. Does the
Squirts.
thing work? Yeah, the thing
Yeah.
really
So
works.
it squirts water.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And this locomotive, boy, with all the
Beautiful.
different labeling and everything on it, isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
But
And
boy, that's an amazing set.
that's why if you haven't subscribed to Model Railroad News, make sure you do that, because on an item like this, it doesn't do justice just looking at it online, just seeing a picture. These high def resolution pictures and the article that Tony is going to do is so, you know, really talks about the detail that LGB put into it. I mean, that set is monstrous,
Yeah.
just unbelievable.
But no, that's really awesome. I just saw Justin also shared those pictures today of the controller that he was finishing up his review. So he'll go over that one controller we looked at a bit ago as well. But you get to find out all that, kind of the inside stuff. Because again, you can read a lot of that, but there's so many things. There's so much in today's models, the things they do, the electronics, the features, like the tank car that really squirts water, to where maybe you didn't catch that or see that in the list of things. So it's fun to get to see a review and see the pictures. But boy, I tell you, the locomotive especially, I was just blown away by the paint and lettering work on it. It really looks sharp. That's a nice piece. Yeah. And limited. I think, do you guys have that in stock right now? I mean, it just came out in like the last couple of months, I think.
Yes, very recent. We only have 4 left. It's a beautiful package, premium set, but it's really high detailed. It's one of these really beautiful collection pieces. So LGB did a great job. And for the tank car to be squirting, I mean, they could have just stopped at a regular tank car, but they added some unique animation to it.
Yeah, that's fun. That's a fun thing. Yeah.
Very cool. I hope no one called you over to, hey, take a look at this tank car and shoot it at you.
Yeah.
Be careful. Very neat. All right. So moving on to O scale then. And O scale, new arrivals, tons of stuff. And we'll start with these Santa Fe. It's really like MPC inspired. And Tony, I think I was telling you the story about these. We were digging through old shells and we found a old GP9 shell from Lionel, and we're like, this Santa Fe black and yellow is just so neat. And it's so unique. It's different. Not a lot of people have done it. So this just came out. Nice. It's a new arrival, MTH Train World exclusive. They did a really great job with that one.
And that what in O, we mentioned that there's the new catalog hitting this week from LGB. For G stuff, there's the new Piko catalog, which I think has got the multi-scales from G on in that. And I saw Ryan and the folks at Lionel will be on live Friday afternoon, paging through 2024 volume 1. So
the catalog drops tomorrow.
Okay.
So new Lionel catalog will drop tomorrow. And we'll talk about some Lionel stuff in a second here. But new Lionel catalog drops tomorrow. And Tony, we actually have a little celebration. 2024, we were again the Lionel top dealer for Lionel. So we were ecstatic about that. We were really happy. And the guys and gals over at Lionel, all of them do such great work with us, and we really appreciate them. They make some beautiful products. It just,
absolutely
unbelievable. One product that we wanted to talk to about, and I think you have some pictures up there, and while I get the sample, if you want to talk about it.
This is the Lionel. I think this is in the Vision line, and it's the New York Central Dreyfuss Hudson, and they're doing a couple of different styles. You know, this was that, I think, 1938, 39 Streamline, maybe a little older than that. Steam locomotive, super famous. Everybody knows it. As you can see from the top and bottom, the bottom one, we can see the coal, and the tender it's like a smoke effect, isn't it? Because that's where they would, on the fly at speed, would shovel up water, because the water's stored back there as well in the tender, and that would scoop the water. So the effect of that, you'd get the mist and, like the water would go everywhere as they did it. But that's on this new Hudson, right?
Exactly. So this just a quick correction. This isn't Vision Line, but it's high-end Legacy. The big boys were Vision Line.
Oh, okay.
So this is high-end Legacy, but what Lionel did this time, they actually added some Vision Line features, which is that water scoop effect. So this tender, and if you haven't seen a video of this, it is wild. But there's little spouts. I don't know if you could see right here and throughout the tender, and the smoke shoots out. That's just like the real thing. It is the most incredible feature that Lionel has ever done for model trains. I think it's so unique. Who doesn't love smoke?
And it's such a neat thing. If you've ever seen that, if you don't know what we're talking about, after the show, go onto YouTube or Google that, and you'll see like Pennsy or New York Central, where they at speed are going along, and there's like a trough that they suck up that water, and of course it just goes flying everywhere as they do it. I mean, that had to have been something to see, and it's so cool to have it reproduced on a model.
Yeah, so it's gorgeous. They did a great job, and I think they did this. I think it was a Mohawk, New York Central, that they had that feature as well. But
Wow.
everybody goes crazy for it. Let me hold it a different way. But
Isn't
I
that
mean,
beautiful?
it's
Oh,
just
wow.
stunning. That's why trains are so awesome.
That's
They
so, yeah.
every year, and that's what's amazing about trains. And for model train resource, Tony, you go, and HO collector, you really have seen the evolution of trains.
Hmm.
And people say, oh, why do I need another Dreyfus? I bought one in 1960 from River Oski or something. It's not the same. And
No. Yeah.
Jason Schron was big on this when I spoke to him at one of his shows like 6 months ago. He said these are not your average models
No.
from when you were a child. It's just
Yeah.
completely different.
So different. Yeah, they're so different. But boy, it's a beautiful streamline. And I'm prepared for this show because I know you mentioned that we were going to talk about it. And I think when this was coming, we talked about it. And one of the detail differences, I mentioned the tender, and I think the top one, it's an oil tender, and then the bottom one's a coal tender. And you see the water effect there. But the other thing, this is a 464. The big drivers come in two prototype styles: box pox, if I'm saying it right, and scullin. And I can't remember, we had somebody on with us, and I think we maybe threw it to them like, which one is that? And we all were kind of, so I do have, there you
There
go.
you go.
On the left, that smooth face one is a scullin, and then
Mm.
box pox or box pock is the other one that kind of to me looks more like a usual traditional a deal. But so awesome that they're doing both of those, and that's what, O scale and just arriving from Lionel.
Correct. Yeah,
Beautiful.
it's unique, and everybody likes something different, and some people may like one style, one people like the other, and at least there's a choice of both. I think Broadway Limited on their Vandy Hudsons, they had the different style wheels
Mhm.
as well. So
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of these engines have different wheels, and it's interesting. I always get them confused, which one's which.
Yes. Yeah. But there you go. Smooth as scullin is the way I'm trying to put it into my head. The smooth surface is scullin, whereas the one with all the opening is the other. So maybe I'll remember that. You can test me on it on another show later.
Sounds fair enough. Fair enough. Very cool. And moving along as well, the Vision Line Big Boys. So for Christmas time, this was like the item that was shipping out. This and the Dreyfus
Wow.
all Christmas. Big Boys and Dreyfus. People wanted those either a mantelpiece or able to run it. Just really unbelievable. And with the Big Boy, they're like not even trained people and they buy it. It's
Right.
just people who have seen it, on TV or in real life, and they just want a beautiful mantelpiece. It's
And
just
boy, and that is, yeah. I mean, I can't imagine. Wow. And so many different things there. Yeah.
that's right. All right. Um, Continuing with, I guess, Lionel is power. We keep on talking about power, Tony,
Hmm.
and the Lionel Base 3. This is like the top pre-order for O scale because everybody has trains, but they need power.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people out there are getting frustrated that it's taking so long, but Lionel actually did something unique and really cool, Tony. They have been bringing this to clubs around the United States, and they've been having the clubs test it.
Oh, that's
Um,
nice. Yeah.
this gave a lot of extra insight testing. Does the range work in big spaces? Does the frequency change? So, I know a lot of times people want it right away, but they're going about things the right way. They're testing. They're working out the bugs, kinks. They want it to be 100% right. So it's really going to be unbelievable once it comes out. But you'll be able to run all your legacy, and they're talking about like line cheap as well. So it's going to be the wave of the future.
It looks really awesome. I love what they use, the Hell's Gate Bridge
Yes, yes,
as the
yeah,
back. And if you show us that the back of it, it's so easy on the plug-in. There's
yeah.
like the next one, that's the face. But here, because to me, a lot of this can be, a little intimidating, all the hookup stuff. And you flip it around like, whoa, I don't know what goes where, but
Yeah.
it looks fairly simple as well to me. So that's a nice piece. And yeah, that I think is due fairly soon, isn't it?
They keep on saying it soon,
Oh,
but maybe we're hoping maybe early spring, late spring. So hopefully, fingers crossed, fingers crossed.
Nice.
And along with more power, MTH, their TIU WTIU unit is coming out along the same lines. Hopefully, in a couple of months, maybe spring. You never know. You never know with these things. But now with Atlas O, these will also control the Atlas O engines that are using the Protosound 3 engines.
Nice.
So very important for that. But those are like the two pre-order items because everybody needs power. There's no power on the market.
Yeah.
So,
well, we've been talking all that big ticket stuff, and you mentioned Atlas. I got this, came in this week, and I was really excited by it. This is a new run of Atlas's 50-foot double door boxcars in O, and these come in 2-rail and 3-rail. And this is that late era, the root rock of Rock Island of the very late 1970s. And I don't know what your price is on it, but I'm sure it's good without having to ask or think about. But Atlas, I love the big Atlas O. And that's another one for display. Even if you're an HO or an N-scale person, you can find a really neat freight car or something that doesn't cost a whole lot. That's a fun piece to have on your desk or someplace, even if you're not an O, collector by chance.
And it's amazing because after this Atlas MTH merger on the O scale products, I mean, Atlas just exploded in O scale, and people know the product because it's MTH and they're not afraid of it. And they've really been going to a whole nother level with O scale. So it's really great to see, and lots of great product.
Mm-hmm. Great product and good pricing. And as I say, both scale 2-rail, because Atlas has always pushed that heavily in addition to the 3-rail version of O. So it's nice to see both. I think I've got a covered hopper that's MTH Heritage tooling that I just reviewed that I show both the 2-rail and with the body mounted couplers and, the scale wheels, and then the more traditional O gauge 3-rail style. So nice to see both those options on those kind of cars.
That's right. And another item coming in for our exclusive items are Long Island flat cars. And these are a little bit different, but the colors are so bold and different. And we kind of actually mimic this from an actual the bridge black and orange. So it's really big, bold. The colors really neat. So
nice.
Long Island switchers also came in. So lots coming in, new arrivals for O scale. It's amazing the amount of O scale product that came in this Christmas. Just unbelievable.
Wow. Yeah. And for those, again, I feel like I answer this question once every couple of weeks. I thought MTH was changing, and as you say, Andy Edelman and those guys, MTH is rolling along, with more O and the bigger scales. And there are Atlas products that you were told Atlas had, merged or picked up some of that tooling. So yes, the answer is both. Not one the other, what's happening. So yeah, always a lot. Anytime I see MTH stuff again, that's one of the questions I'll get is, I thought it's like, no, yeah, they're still rolling too. Yeah.
That's the biggest question. And now when Rich Foster goes to trade shows, he's like, that's all I do. I just dispel the myth of that we're out of business.
Yes, yeah. I know, yeah.
And another scale for new arrivals, 0 and 30. And I know you cover this a little bit, Tony, but Bachman does a great job with this scale, 0 and 30. And they got some nice flat cars that just came in recently.
Those new flats are new. That's part of their 18-foot series, which I love the little box car. There's a handful of cars, and 18 is mentioning, there's the scale length of them. And of course, these are 0 and 30, which is 1/48th proportion and operates on 1/87th track. And you guys have a ton. I was looking through there. I see you've got a great deal on a lot of ON30 things, the excursion cars, there's derrick cars that you've got a really good price on. Yeah, I was looking at I love the little 18-foot US Army box cars. You got a nice price on those.
Yeah.
And then really good price on those open excursion cars.
Yeah, Bachman has some great product in ON30. And what's so great about ON30, if you're already into HO trains, you don't have to change anything. You could use the same track. And I think that's why we've been so successful, because there's that big crossover market for HO scale. And, ON30, it's just, you could either run it on a different segment of your layout, or if you just want to take your HO trains off and run ON30 for the day, you got ON30 running. So
yeah, no, it's a fun scale. And if you want to know more on it, White River does that ON30 annual each year. So that's a nice kind of place to get a little more acquainted with it all. But it's a fun kind of hybrid scale that Josh Bachman's kind of been the king of it for decades now, but a lot of people pursue it, and there's a lot of things available for it. So,
and Tony, if they wanted to order or subscribe for the magazines for Model Railroad News and the ON30 annual, it's White River Productions.
It's shop.whiteriverproductions.com, and you can go through all the books. And we've got have you got a calendar to put up yet, Ken?
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. And this is our world this is all the different White River publications. And so it kind of mixes in prototype stuff as well as model stuff. So each month you kind of go to something different. But yeah, that new Rock Island short line that's operating down, I think it's around Memphis.
Wonder who picked that train.
That is really awesome. I had nothing to do with it, although I did see we got a couple of pictures in the calendar for the different publications. But yeah, that's a nice thing, and our annuals and
very cool,
all kinds of different things you can pick up.
If you're looking, this is shop.whiteriverproductions. So if you want that, here it is.
There it is.
ON30 annual. You could purchase that. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. That's their box car. That's neat. Very cool. ON30.
There it is.
So here it is. And then you got Model Railroad News. You could subscribe.
And you can pick out back issues are available on all the publications too. And
very cool.
Annuals, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. Neat stuff, Tony. All right. So moving down on scales. Let's see what we got next. I guess HO scale.
I think so. We're going to jump over S. We're not going to not mention S.
There's just not enough in S. I'm sorry, guys.
That gets them. I had Jim, I think Jim Wiggin from Athern, you know him. I think he bought an S scale set from you this Christmas to put around his tree, and was telling me about it before a show we did recently, and said I had more fun with that I picked this up at Train World. And I said, oh yeah, I bought one of those sets from Train World too. I said, yeah, it's got one of the American Flyer S. So yes, there's tons of stuff out there in S. There's a tab for S on the Train World site. There is new products coming out all the time. So
you're right. There are 3 new products. So we'll do it very quickly. S scale. So American Flyer. This is actually cute, and this did well. The Polar Express flat with the trailers, door-to-door service, very cute. So this is a new arrival. This just came out. And the boxcar, if you didn't get the boxcar for the Christmas boxcar Flyer always sells out quickly. It's probably the best American Flyer item every year. So be sure you pre-order it. I'm not sure if they announced it tomorrow, but it always does well. And we've been getting some Schuko cars recently, some S scale, or 1/64th scale. So in that scale for Schuko, but really neat stuff.
Very nice. So see, there you go. Now the S, the S can't get mad at us now. Yeah,
that's right. We're off the hook. All right, HO scale, which there's just so much to cover, Tony. We could do 3 whole shows and not cover all
new
HO
product
scale.
and HO and N. Yeah.
But this is the biggie that just was arrived, and the amount of orders that we had on this engine was unbelievable. HO scale P42s, and we've been talking about this, Tony, how these engines in all scales have done so well, but Athearn just announced or came out with these, and just really neat. Let me see if I could.
And kind of long awaited. I think these got delayed for some of the electronics and other things, so they'd been held up. They were announced a long time ago, and I know the pre-orders really kind of caught up to the production run. These have been a challenge to find. I looked and saw you do have some stock on these, but boy, these right now are really hot, and really, if you're thinking about it, don't think long, because they're disappearing quick. And what a beautiful piece. This is, their P42 done in several special schemes. It's a Genesis model now, set up with soundtracks, DCC, and lighting. So lots of neat stuff about it. And boy, all these Amtrak paint schemes. There was a time, Ken, and I know you remember it, when Amtrak just wasn't that big a deal to a lot of folks. But I think between the special paint schemes and Amtrak hitting, 50 years, a few years ago, 71 to 21,
Right.
that suddenly Amtrak has a lot more street cred than it ever used to. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And so just beautiful paint schemes. Athearn did a really awesome job on these. Actually, their previous run of P42s sold out like crazy. It was just so limited. These are going to be so limited as well. It's just really nicely done. Different paint schemes, uniques. This one they've never done before. The Midnight Blue has been delayed, so we're still taking pre-orders on that. That's like one of the top pre-ordered items in HO. So really unbelievable. Nice stuff by Athearn. And we'll scroll down here.
I was trying to think what I had something, Athearn. Oh, the little switch engines. I think you still have some of those in stock. And I think I have pictures on those. Yeah, this is the little SW 1500. Got a run recently. It now has ground lights. There's lights underneath the cab over the rear truck. LED lighting. It's DCC sound as an option for the very first time for this model. Really sharp looking. I do a review of the Western Pacific model that's coming, I believe, in the March Model Railroad News. And Sean Hoppert, if you follow him, he's got a YouTube channel, and he talks about the model railroad he's building, and he does some unboxing and that kind of stuff too. But Sean reached out to me on this, wanting to review this Wisconsin Central, and sent me some pictures. And this has got some pictures. Like, I love that shot. Isn't that neat?
First of all, it looks like a real.
It looks real. Yeah.
That's unbelievable. The trees and the train actually looks fantastic.
It's really nice. But yeah, you can check him out on YouTube. That's Sean with a W, Hoppert with two P's, and he's got a YouTube channel. And I think I'm going to put this in April's Model Railroad News as a follow-up. But yeah, those little SW 1500s have been, I was really surprised how they're just really sharp, really nice models. So
very nice. You got to ask him what kind of trees those are. It's really nice.
I don't know.
Mountain in the backdrop.
It has a nice look. And the angle he's got, he sent me a whole group. I've got a whole bunch of pictures that I'm trying to decide which ones I want to use. Neat stuff.
It's amazing how model railroaders are so talented with photography and videography. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Really, really neat. And for the people who think it's easy taking a picture, it is not.
No. Yeah. It's like, boy, this ought to be. And then you shoot it. It's like, oh, it doesn't look right at all. Yeah. No, that could be very challenging. But that's very neat. Yeah.
You got to go over lighting. You got to go over equipment. It's just so blacking out the behind the scenes. It's just unbelievable. So
yeah, there's a lot to it. But no, he did a neat job. I love that. And the other new Atlas thing, I think you said you still had some. I got this recently. I thought this was so cool because it being a set. This is the Athearn rotary snowplow.
Yeah.
With the B unit to push
Very
it.
Cool.
And the blade turns. I think that's a band drive that runs the blade on the snowplow. I don't think it'll actually move any snow. If you're really trying to get it to move snow, you may not. So, but anyway, fully assembled. This is in the main Athearn line. There's a handful of road names. I love this yellow and black Conrail, but that came in just recently,
Good.
and we got a bunch of snow here in the Missouri area. So I'm ready to test it out. I'm gonna put some track down, and we'll see how much snow can really move.
Could you imagine if some people email Jim tomorrow and say, "Well, Tony Cook told me that it's
That it works. It'll
move
do
real snow."
No, I did not. No, I did not. Yeah, no. But it's very cool looking. Yes, the little blade will turn on the rotary as it goes around, and you can flip the thing on the top that would blow the snow if it did in each direction. So fun piece. But those are nice sets, and I think you have some of those. About a half dozen road names. There's a really pretty silver Union Pacific, and there's a couple of Canadian roads. But yeah, that's a very nice release from Matherin.
Yeah, we just got them in, and just in time for the Amherst train show too. Whenever it snows, we could clear out some snow with them. So really neat job. Tons of new product. Do you want to go next, or you?
We were going to talk about. Well, what do we have next
for show? Bachman, actually, I'm not sure if you saw these yet, Tony. The 440s. I know we spoke about it.
Oh, yeah, we've talked about them. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. Yeah.
So these just came out, and I tell you, this engine was so popular. Like the amount of pre-order, everybody wanted it. It was just unbelievable.
I remember you saying that. Yeah, this has been Bachman first introduced this kind of Old West line in 1976. But it's gone through lots of changes and things over the years. This is nothing like anything released that many decades ago. But yeah, there's a whole group of these, and I think, are they DCC and sound? Did I see that both?
Yeah. DCC and sound. And I don't think many manufacturers in HO scale make like that old-time Western look, but really neat, and different paint schemes. This is Old Colony. I actually had to reorder some because they sold out so quickly. They're so unique, different. So we just got a refresh.
That new caboose is a new Bachman piece. I've seen tons of posts and comments on how happy guys are.
You did a review on this, right? Recently?
No, I have not yet, because it's just come out. But I've got one of the guys from the Missouri Pacific, because it's a Missouri Pacific prototype. It was built like at their Sedalia, Missouri shops, and other railroads did have similar type cabooses, and Missouri Pacific's, the red one, is one of the ones they're doing. But I got one of the people that worked on the project with Bachman is doing the review of the Missouri Pacific from Auto Railroad News. So he'll talk about the real ones and what was put together for the models. So, but that's a really neat piece.
Yeah, very nice. And I heard a lot of great reviews on this. I think it's brand new tooling. So
Bachman has never been out before from Bachman. Yeah. Nice.
And next up, the Jeep 30s just came in from Broadway Limited. Tony, I'm not sure if you got a sample there.
The Jeep 30s, I got I had two heads ups today. I heard from Curtis at BLI telling me that chassis system that we're looking at is sold out from BLI. And that was one they were sending me for review. So he said, what's an alternative road name that you'd like to review? So if you're looking for the chassis, again, don't delay on that. These are shipping now from Broadway Limited. And I haven't called them. I haven't gotten back to them yet, but your folks called, because I got my Texas address, my Missouri address. So I had hi, this is Train World. Before we send this to you, we want to make sure we're sending it to your right address. And as we look at this, it's and what we're talking about there is the Santa Fe Black Bonnet. That's a Train World exclusive.
Yeah. These are mean. Hopefully I'll receive them tomorrow in Trainland. Train World has been shipping them out, but it's a mean looking train.
I can't wait to see it. Yeah, your one guy did that review where he had the early sample. And it's like, man, that's so cool looking. So yeah, when I don't know how I did not respond to that message immediately, but yeah, I have a message waiting where I need to tell them where to ship mine. And yeah, I can't wait to see it. I love that scheme. I think I have your F unit. I think you're doing a Jeep through maybe Atlas.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm trying to collect all of the different black bonnets that you do. Yeah,
that's right. And this UP with the light gray on the top, really cool. I saw some pictures on Broadway's Facebook page, I believe, but really neat.
It's
Very
the
cool paint
because
scheme.
that it's not it never operated like that. It's I think that's at the Ogden, Utah,
Hmm.
or maybe in the California. I think it's in Ogden, Utah, at a museum. And I think when the museum painted or fixed it up, I guess they didn't go to the right hobby shop or didn't ask you for a bottle of what kind of UP Harbor Mist gray paint. And so it's not the other paint. And Broadway's doing both, but this one
Right.
844, that is correct. It is a light gray, whereas there's the traditional
Here's
Union
the
Pacific with
darker.
the darker, yeah. And the UP livery they're doing here is about 1980 with the larger Union Pacific on the side and the shield on the side of the cab. But
Wow.
all kinds of the 30s are landing next. The GP 35 that
Yep.
just came out from Broadway is the cover of March's Model Railroad News with the Burlingtons on the cover. I was really excited with those. I thought it
Yeah.
it was great.
And Tony, they're also have been really investing in tooling for
Oh
uh,
my,
a,
yeah.
a lot of railroad specific details
Mhm.
and just a lot more than what they usually tend to offer on their diesels. So
Have
they're
really, yeah, as
stepping
folks
up
like
the
to say,
game.
stepping up the game. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah, like
Yeah.
those CP units are road accurate. That BNSF is a contemporary. It was a Jeep 35. I think it was a Great Northern Jeep 35, and that's what it looks like now. You can see the one fan in
Wow.
the back is missing, that they took it out in the rebuild. It got a nose headlight chopped in, the light up top between the number boards has been taken out. So the cover of March's Model Railroad News is Jeep 35s then and now, showing the old red Burlington on the left and that BNSF on the right. And yeah, we go through all the different, because virtually none of those 35's Broadway's just done. No two are alike. Like that Burlington's got a nose headlight, but it's different than the BNSF one.
Right.
Correct antennas, correct placement on the horns. I mean, yeah, and the 30's are the same way, that they're road specific throughout. So
Yeah.
fun to see. Really neat
Yeah.
stuff.
And Paragon 4, so the sound's going to be upgraded from the old Paragon 3. So lots to be excited for Broadway fans for sure.
And both, yeah. You get you get stealth now for those that want the
Hmm.
non-sound. And when we get to in scale, I've got some Broadways to show the innards of those, because guys always want to know, well, how and what and where would I hook that up. But the stealth and Paragon 4 for all of this stuff in HO and in pretty much now too, from
Yeah,
Broadway as well. But boy, they're beautiful. Here's the picture I've
that's
got
cool.
up here, shows you talked about all the tooling they've been investing in, and left to right is an SD45, an SD40, Jeep 35, and then a Southern High Hood Jeep 30 is coming to join this group. And my reviewer Ryan Crawford's going to do it. We're going to call it Southern Fried High Hoods, because all the Southern stuff was, had the high hood option. But boy,
Very
those are
cool.
beauties. I love that tuxedo Southern paint, but
Yeah,
really nice. And that's the
beautiful.
other. These have all come out, what, in the last year
Yeah.
or so? It started with the GP20, which I don't have pictured here, but then the SD40, 45, Jeep 35, Jeep 30s landing now. I mean, Broadway's been on fire with these second generation, like 1960s and later EMD prototypes, and it's fun to see.
Lots of product, really cool, and it's great that they're look at all the different fans on top. All very
Lots of
cool,
nice,
unique.
and the thing I
Lots
see,
of
like
nice
here,
detail.
Southern had these little light fixtures. I think I have this blown up. Let me see if I can make that bigger. There were walkway lights. You can
Oh,
see it there,
really?
and there's
Wow.
one right here. And they're non-functional because they're itty bitty.
Okay.
But and there's another one right there. But they're
Oh, very
included
cool.
on. They tooled that as part of the road accurate. The bell on the short
Wow.
hood there is correct. The horn placed on back, and the F, because this was the front for the Southern. But yeah, I think that's an impressive piece.
Very neat. Beautiful. All right. And moving away from Broadway, Pico, usually we really talk about them only in G scale, but now I guess they have one of the top new arrivals and pre-orders at the same time. They just shipped the DCC ready version.
Yep.
The sounds are not out yet. They're going to be
Right.
a little later, but these came out gorgeous, Tony.
They are beautiful. And this, at the beginning of the show, I told you how I'd had that ear infection, was dizzy. You know, I've been looking forward to this Kraus Maffei like crazy. That I've been so excited. In fact, we talked with Jonathan Metter from
Yeah.
Piko, and I think he told you how when I emailed Tony and said we were announcing this, I just got this email like, wow, I just fell out of my chair. And that's how bad I've been feeling. Right behind me here, there's the Piko box. I haven't gotten them open yet. Like today or yesterday, about the first I really felt a lot better. So yeah, that's how under the weather I've been. I didn't even open these. But man, I can't wait to see them. Piko's been sharing these views online. These are different, I think, model railroads in Southern California. These are the diesel hydraulics built by Kraus Maffei in the early 1960s. They arrived here in the U.S. in like 1960, 61. And Southern Pacific and Rio Grande were the railroads that tested the idea out. They were supposed to be higher horsepower, had some other things about them that kind of looked competitive to General Electric and EMD at the time. And a lot of maintenance and other teething problems with them. It just didn't pan out, but they really occupy a neat place in North American railroading history. And Bob Zink, who is the expert on these, he's written a book for the Southern Pacific Society on them, worked with Piko on these models. And I talked with Bob, or messaged with Bob in the last week, and he was just thrilled. He said that, boy, they came out, they look great. And yeah, the non-sound are available at this point, and the DCC sound, I think Jonathan, he was saying they should be soon. Again, electronics, I think, has been a real bear in getting, that we talked about the P42s from Athearn being late. Some of the electronic stuff has really been a snag, but these just hit and they're out. You got them. Like I said, I got that box set ready to open up. Southern Pacific first, and they are going to tool and do the Rio Grandes, and that'll be a future run. And I think they've announced them in scale as well. The main difference, SP had this red pile emergency light here, and Rio Grandes have like the typical E or F unit looking headlight. There is the big difference. But Rio Grande is a future option, not announced yet, but will be at some point. But boy, these SPs, if you're a collector, I did a whole HO Collector article. It was one of the first year of HO Collector magazine that we covered that old AHM River Rossi because it's such a favorite of folks. And
I was beautiful. I was literally waiting for you to stop to say, if you want to see a real one, check out HO Collector. Tony has a great edition of the original River Rossi AHM.
The classic. Made by River Rossi in Italy when they were new in like 63, 64. They were contemporary models. But I do have a lot of prototype pictures, and I have some Kraus Maffei literature in that issue, so it's a fun thing to see. And all of that you can go to White River has, and I should know it better than I do. We have an app out now that you can see all the back issues on the app. I think it's like a system. It's almost like Netflix or Amazon Prime that you can sign up for a flat rate and see. I think you can see back issues and see other magazines you're not necessarily subscribe to. But check it out. I may not be saying everything exactly, and I should know it better than I do, but there's a new White River app that can do all that stuff, so I think you can access that, because I believe this issue of HO Collector has been sold out a long time. But how are these selling? I'm sure the DCC sound is what people want the most, but
the DCC ready Piko is already sold out. We have very few available. I think we have under probably 10 pieces. This one's only 5 left, and Piko sold out. So if you want a DCC ready version, I suggest hurry up in the next couple of days or so, because they'll definitely be sold out, as Piko is already sold out for the DCC ready version. DCC and sound, we're still taking pre-orders, but it's very close. One number I think they were saying was pretty much sold out. The other two was just very low quantity, so they're all going to be sold out first run for sure. And it's just beautiful stuff.
An amazing piece. Wow, there we go. Yeah, let's see this.
Show you. Get out of there, Tony. So yeah. Wow. I mean, it's really gorgeous. They did a really great job.
Very nice. Yeah, you can see all the fan blades there underneath. It's got nice detail up in the kind of turret cab.
the windshield wipers.
And and Piko this was another one when this was announced, as excited as a lot of folks were. The other thing is, well, what is Piko HO like? Does Piko make a lot of HO? Right. I've never heard of Piko and HO because, again, there's so much of it is European prototype. And this is a real winner from them. I'm impressed. Wow, look at you can see the traction motor detail on the bottom of the trucks kind of thing. Wow, nice.
And Piko overseas is, I don't know if they're bigger than Markland. If not, they're right there.
It's got to be like close.
Markland, Piko. But their quality is just unbelievable. They're one of the largest model train manufacturers in the world. I mean,
right? Yeah,
Europe totally eclipses the amount of sales of the American market. Right. So it's this is just kind of like they're starting to dabble into. But
I'm eager to see them do more. Yeah, I'm eager to Rio Grandes, and they did that wonderful little Whitcomb center cab switch engine, both in HO and in scale. So, more power to them.
They know how to make trains.
Yes, exactly. And that's, again, as I answered that a year or more ago when those were first kind of announced, was, well, what's this going to be like? I don't know them. I'm like, the Piko line, we've reviewed stuff for years that's, European prototype. It's excellent stuff. And it looks like they definitely came through with this.
Yep, without a doubt, another good winner. And next company up, you have Rapido, which Jason Schron is actually coming to Trainland Monday, January 15th. So this Monday.
Heard that, yeah.
And he's going to do a special time. It's going to be 7 to 8:30. So it's like a pop-up night event. And he's just going to sign, talk to customers, a meet and greet. But these new Procore cars are brand new. New arrivals. They've been very popular. A lot of people doing some weathering on them and lots of cool stuff. So those are brand new from them. Very popular.
And Piko's always got so much, or Rapido has so much stuff in the pipeline and coming out. They always do a big Christmas announcement. And if you missed it, I assume you've got these up for pre-order. They're going to do the first F unit, the FT. And I think you probably have those. And there's that wonderful little Northeastern caboose. But this was their big Christmas announcement, was an FT and an AB set is going to be released. Yeah, here's some artwork for it. And this should be really exciting to see. And of course, road specific, single and double headlight units. We got dynamic brakes and non-dynamic brakes. The FT has a slightly different wheelbase than later F units, and getting close coupling on an F unit is always a challenge. But some of the artwork and things they've shown, they do have a close coupling system. So I can't wait to see these. This should be a real exciting thing. And as I mentioned, Rapido's always coming out. This is a CP Rail RS18U, so it's a rebuilt RS18. This is HO scale. Really, I can't get over the paint and the work that goes into some of this stuff today. I mean, we never saw models like this years back. Look at the re-rail frog mounted from underneath there. The bell up here with the class light piece. I mean, this is an amazing piece. This went up to Kevin Holland, who's the editor of Passenger Train Journal magazine, and he's also an HO modeler, and he's up in Canada. So I hit him up to do some of my Canadian reviews. And this one, I thought this was so neat. It's such a neat little model. This is the RSC 14 in HO scale, again from Rapido.
Just looks so detailed.
It is. Yeah, it's so intricate. And there it is, popped open. There's the sound, the speaker there under the baffle. ESU electronics in it. But this one I do unboxing videos over at Model Train Resource on YouTube. And I was so surprised. This is one of maybe the first ones I put up because I've only been doing the channel a couple of months. And this literally had like more hits than anything in like its first week. And it's like, wow. But again, it's such a neat little model. Rapido does such fun and so much stuff. And odd prototypes like this that I would have told you, well, never outside of brass. And there it is as an HO model. But that thing especially, I thought was just crazy detailed.
Beautiful. Gorgeous. And the paint scheme's really cool. The CN with the stripes, just gorgeous. And that little hint of yellow. It's just like so subtle, but it just makes it pop.
It's nice stuff. I mean, they do great. And boy, so you're gonna have Jason on Monday evening, and
Yes.
it's gonna be online live, right?
Well, no.
Or
So
no?
it's going to be in store. We're going
Okay.
to try to do a live thing at around 8, but
Okay.
it depends on how crazy if we're able to squeeze it in with the people in front of us.
Oh,
And
cool.
sometimes a lot of people got questions and stuff. They want to meet Jason, so we don't want to take away from that. But we're going to try to do a nice online thing as well for everyone out there. But we do have a nice sale event going on right now for Rapido if you're signed up for our email sales. And if you use the code word and select pickup in Trainland, if you come in at the time that Jason is here, we're going to do a little extra something for the people who are physically present for Jason. We want to make sure he's got all his people out there coming in for this event.
Wow, very
So
cool.
we're trying to make it worth it for everyone's while, and I'm sure it's going to be a great event. So we're really excited, and I know Jason's excited.
I think everybody in the hobby is a bit of a character, but Jason especially is so much fun to talk to, and all the different things that, I mean, he's into and collects, and I mean, it's always before we've done shows, it's usually Jordan Smith, I think. We'll get the stuff set up. It's like Jason will be on in a minute. Then Jason comes in and he and I start talking. And Jordan's like, "Hey, we were supposed to be online live like 10 minutes ago. Can you guys quit talking about Hot Wheels Matchbox toy trains from 1980? And please, let's get to." It's like, oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't realize we were here for business tonight. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Or it could go from a typical conversation and just say, and by the way, I bought this huge bus in London
Yeah.
that no, you know,
Yeah, who doesn't have a bus? Oh, yeah, I got a bus. Yeah.
I figured it would be great.
I know. Yeah. Again, as I say, he's a bit of a character. Yeah. So if you've never met him before, and you can be around they're in Lynbrook in New
Yep.
York City
Yep.
Monday night, you will not be disappointed if you make the trip and get to meet him, because he
That's
is
right.
one of the bigger than life folks in the hobby for sure.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, tons of new arrivals. And what else? I think you had some other new arrivals.
Do I have from?
Was it the classic Metalworks? Was that?
Oh, I do have that. Yeah, I've
Had a
got.
pre-order still. Maybe that's
There
not.
was. I don't think we saw that yet. There's the in scale, the Pico Whitcomb
We're
taken
not up to
apart.
N scale yet, Tony.
Oh, we haven't got the in scale yet.
Just
HO. I do have more HO. I have the
Okay.
Walthers Merchants Row, which I think
Very cool.
before we went on, I talked to you about this. When this came into review, my first thing was Merchants Row 7. There's no way there's 7 of these. And I started looking and put the information together. This is in, I think, again, March's Model Railroad News. I review the kit, and Merchants Row 7 is the latest one. And in the back of Model Railroad News, from the archive, I talk about the history of these, because they actually came from Magnuson Models, did the first couple of Merchants Rows, and they have like cast metal parts and like resin faces. I mean, you open the box and it's like, this is not what I would think this would be. So I give you the whole history on the back story of them, and then show you Merchants Row 1 through 6. So because these basically all kind of stay in stock at Walthers, and they make wonderful, downtown setups, and they're so easy to build. As you can see, they're easy to build, because if I could build it, it's easy to build. You get the sidewalk piece. Here's the side. You got 1, 2, 3, like 4 pieces for the sides. These are a little extra you put up here. And then this is part of, I think I show, you get these cutouts for the different stores, as well as shades and window material. And then these are water slide decals for the signs here on the face of the building. So here it has all this amazing intricate look, but as you see from the back, that's just cardstock that you cut and fit into place on it, and you end up with this really neat look. And I've done no painting here. Like, I didn't do any of the work to make, like the mortar between the bricks or paint the buildings a little different. There's a lot you can obviously do, but I wanted to show, for the person considering buying it, well, what do I get? What would I do? It's like, well, here you go. All the roofs are going to be the same thing. So if you want a little darker gray for one or the other, or paint this, but this is it basically raw with nothing but what comes in the box. And it's a fun, easy kit to put together. And boy, you buy, a group of these and you can have a whole street in no time in your HO railroad, and sidewalks included, which I think is such a nice thing. And what's the price on that? Aren't they about, have you got,
$35.99.
yeah, killer
Yep.
price. Yeah.
Yep. And it's Tony tested, Tony approved. I think that should be a new slogan.
Tony tested and approved.
Tony approved.
I still can't believe there's 7 of them. As I say, that's what
Yeah.
sent me down that rabbit hole of digging out all my big Walther's reference books and looking back like, how can there be 7 of these? And it's like, yeah, there really are. So you could have a whole town of just these.
And it's funny because you brought this on, and I was telling you before the show, the Merchant Row kits are actually the best-selling HO kits for building wise that we carry. It's just, and like you say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just tons of different options out there, and they're just beautiful, really cool, and it gives you that. It's different because most people sell a kit and it's just one building.
Mm-hmm.
These you get a couple in one, and it's really neat.
And they do. I think they look so intricate that you think, well, there's probably a lot there to build. But as you see,
Right.
if you paint it like that, you can make it really look like there's a whole lot to it. But as far as, well, it'd be awful hard to do. No, they're, as you saw, the facades, the plastic sections go together, and it's easy to do. But yeah, that's a wonderful line of things from Walther's.
And as you can tell, we've been selling out like crazy. These two are just out of stock right now, and we got shipments in every couple of days from Walther's, so you can tell these are just hot items, but just really neat.
It's a nice group. Yeah.
Very cool.
And then you'd ask, I think you mentioned the January, there's a big group from round 2, the Classic Metalworks mini metals. I've got a video I just put up on these. And there's also Coca-Cola, little red Coca-Cola machines in HO, and like Fanta and Sprite cases to put on like trucks and things. This is a 1977 Chevy pickup with a camper thing, and the camper thing comes right off, so it's just a regular pickup truck underneath. They come assembled. The mirrors are bagged on the side. You'll see in the video I talk about that. Real easy to pop those in place, and I think they're like around $20-$25 in HO, which to have the camper and a complete truck like that is a nice. They look great, and that's a 77
those are really cool
Chevy truck. So.
And you can take off the top. That's awesome.
Yeah, take it off and you got a pickup truck. So, and that's a detail as well. I don't know if you see that around your way, but I know out here you'll see some of those campers where they put them like on posts at the end of the driveway because the guy uses the truck, except for that 1 week a year that he goes out on that fishing trip to Wyoming or whatever, and the camper goes on. So they're kind of a detail too for like your residential area. But those are neat looking, and that's Classic Metalworks mini metals. And I don't know how many times I bought whole boxes because you'll have great deals at times on mini metals. And I just, let me take one of each because they're such neat models and the price is good. And then you'll blow the price up with a great deal that it's like, oh, I got to have all those. So fun to watch. Yeah. Those are just landing now. They
make great product. Those are really, really neat. I like those a lot. I think they'll do very well. Very cool, Tony.
Was that our HO? I think that might be all our HO.
No, we didn't even touch the pre-orders, the top pre-orders.
Oh, yeah.
We'll do a quick countdown as time's going. It's crazy. There's so much product. It's unbelievable. But top pre-orders, Athearn Surfliners. Don't forget about these. The amount of pre-orders on these are unbelievable. So a lot of people are excited about that. So more Athearn great product coming in.
And I know those are behind. I'm trying not to slow the stuff down, but I wanted to share. I have asked on these about, hey, and it's either some refinement in the sound or some detail work. There's a couple things that they're working into those. But yes, they're coming along, but that's why they're like, I don't think we've seen a lot of early sample picks just yet that they were fine-tuning a couple of things. So that's always good to hear that the model will be even better than what was promised.
Very neat, but tons of stuff. And this is the 5-car set, and that's like, even though it's the most expensive, everybody wants the 5-car set. It's the most popular number out of the bunch. So lots of great stuff from Athearn. Broadway GS4s, they're going to be coming in. I think they did a post on it today, maybe like a month or two or so. It's coming into California. So these have done extremely well. A lot of numbers are already close to being sold out, if not sold out already. I think if I'm not mistaken, the Freedom version is already pre-sold out, and that's why it's not showing there.
Oh, wow.
So make sure you get your pre-order in. The Western Pacific, we're actually
beautiful.
Yeah, we're close to being sold out. So if you want it, make sure you get your pre-order in. We'll probably have to deactivate it soon, or we'll sell out as soon as they get in. So really great job and Broadway makes such great steam engines.
Their steam locomotives are beautiful. Yeah. That's something, and that will trip me up at times. And you mentioned that. I wanted to say that for folks watching. I will go on and look and see this and think like, well, where's the American Freedom Train? I know that's in the announcement. How come it's not here? I was going to order that. And so, explain how that works on the stuff comes up for pre-order. But like, if you come in later, you're double checking later. It's like, hey, where did it go? How does this work?
Yeah. So basically the manufacturers announce product. We do our best to stock extra product. And this way, let's say it's an order for 6 pieces. So we place an order for 6 pieces. We take the orders. If we're getting close to the number, I try to order more. If I can't order more and then it's close to being sold out, we deactivate it. Wow. So this way we lose, or the customer loses the risk of being oversold or sold out. So we don't take any more pre-orders. Wow. So like that, the Freedom version is pretty much sold out. We leave a little room just in case for any issues, and that puts us in the clear. So we always try to have exactly the number that we need, and so if it's not showing up, then it's sold out. And we try to order from everybody, all the distributors, all the manufacturers. We get all the sources, so we try to have everything. We do our best, and it's really difficult to carry all this product, and all these manufacturers, they want to make 6 different road numbers. It takes a lot of space. Sometimes we can't do it all, but Broadway is a great partner to work with, and all the distributors, we do our best to grab everything we can from them. So, but yeah, that Freedom version was very hot, and a lot of these numbers are very low.
Wow.
So yeah, Rapido, which I wanted to ask you, Tony, this number showed up and I was really surprised. 60516. This is the excursion version, and I had to do a double check. The numbers were staggering.
That's the high pre-order.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because I guess I would see, because it would be contemporary, and there's a lot of people who would like to see it, or have a model of it as it is now, if they have a diesel layout. Plus, if you're a steam person, but wow, that's impressive that it's selling like that. Again, Rapido, I love this came in the other day, and I think I saw our buddy James Wright already has an unboxing video of this. So if you've not gone over to his site recently, I think he did this one. But we don't always get to see from online the boxes. I love this color. It has like the color slipcase, and then the model actually there. And this is the 460, by the way. This is not the same steam locomotive, that you're looking at there, but really nice. And I love this. I haven't really gotten to test one of these yet with, it's got the Loke sound, but the Mo Power is, kind of the capacitor to keep it going over switches and dirty spots on the track, and which is just wonderful for DCC. And that'll be one of the first steam locomotives from Rapido I test with that feature in it.
Yeah, and that's unique for the industry, because Rapido is now dabbling into these steam engines, and it seems like, beautiful stuff. So I'm excited to see that review from you.
That'd be very nice. Well, in Rapido, you say dabbling into steam, and they're also doing like the BART commuter stuff. They announced a Toronto commuter set at Christmas. I mean, what are they not making? They made
Well,
it's amazing. Yeah. And I hear all of this, and this surprises me. I don't know if it does you. Being a New York person, maybe the subway stuff doesn't surprise you as being a big hot seller, but to me, I've been amazed. And yet I hear tremendous things on, oh yeah, this is very popular.
we actually didn't think we would sell this many because it's California, but it's unbelievable. People went crazy for Bart. So now they're also doing the Toronto subway. They just recently announced. So lots of great stuff. I'm sure Jason has a lot of more subway stuff up his sleeve, hopefully, but really neat.
That is
Very
neat.
cool.
And if you notice, and I see you got it listed, there's the special release of the Toronto that's going to come out with this display platform as part of it. We talked about.
Oh, is that what they're doing? Wow.
Yeah, that's what it will be. That's not
Very
just
cool.
here's what it would look like in its natural environs.
Oh,
That you really will get this whole little display set up, which like how cool is
very
that?
nice.
I like that.
Oh,
That's
that would
neat.
be cool if they could do a New York subway like that with the tile subway in the back.
Exactly. I thought
neat.
the same thing when I saw that. It's like, oh, there
Yeah,
we go. Yeah.
very cool.
You do a
Very
Train
neat.
World exclusive and have Train World posters,
That's,
on the walls. Yeah.
that's right.
File that one away. Yeah, got to do that someday. Yeah.
Very cool. And Sparky made a comment about us ordering like 5% more. There's no exact science. Every single train is different. It's very hard to calculate. Even though we try to order, a set number, some engines and trains, they just go out more and we could order more. And, if I think it's going to be really hot, I'll just buy it from everyone and, have extra room. And I'd rather be the source for everyone that has it. And we do that a lot of time on hot items. So, for a certain percentage, it's very hard to say like that. But
and that is something I don't think everybody maybe doesn't realize, or I don't know that all hobby dealers do that. That to me is almost a Train World thing. And I've been in that position where there's something I've missed or was expecting a sample from the manufacturer. And then it's like, no, we're totally sold out. We don't have, it's like, oh, but I got to review it. It's an important model, and have had come in late asking you about something. And you're like, well, I'm still checking here, and here. That it's like, wow. I mean, he's basically out there, I will find it, that somebody somewhere's got to still maybe have some stock, and I'm trying to get it. So yeah, that's awesome.
That's right. We knock on the doors. And let's see what else. So Bachman HO, they have the venture coaches. I think we were talking about this before the show, Tony.
Yeah, I think the Midwest, these are the first run. Matt from Bachman shared this recently, the packaging for these. These are the Siemens Venture
that's new
cars.
packaging too. Yeah.
Yeah, new packaging for this as well. This is the Via paint, and I think he told me to be ready to see the Amtrak Midwest maybe sometime this week. I was hoping we are going to have pictures on those today, but they didn't quite make it. But these should be just dynamite cars.
Yeah, and they're doing such a great job with all these new engines that they're coming out. These are the Canada, the Via, very nice.
And I think that new Charger, has the Charger hit yet? I think it may be out.
Yes, it actually sold out.
Wow, I'm not surprised.
Got it in, sold out. It's amazing. A lot of these new items have been coming in and go out just so quickly. It's unbelievable. But N-Scale and HO as well. So lots of great choices from Bachman. And last but not least, I want to cover Walthers. They have some great passenger cars for these Amtrak as well. And everything, I feel like we're talking about Amtrak, but that's what's hot right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And the amount of pre-orders on these are unbelievable. Walthers does a great job with their passenger cars and rolling stock cars. Just really neat and
if I remember right, this was tooling that had been around for many years, but these cars don't have any relationship to what was like kit cars from Walthers, say in the 90s, for these Bud Amfleet cars. These are newer. They have a more correct proportion and other things to them, to like the style of the body. They're based on the Metroliner look of the 60s. But yeah, these are really nice. And now I think, are they lighted in interior too on some of these? Is that an option?
I believe
I
so.
think it is. Yeah, limited all new interior configuration. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
It doesn't say lighting though.
Oh
No, all new. No,
no. Okay.
no,
Well,
no lights, no lights. But I think they have the add-on kit that you could add the
yes. Yeah.
lighting for it. But regardless, still nice. All right, and that's it for HO. Even though we could talk about HO all day,
All day. Yeah.
but last but not least, N scale. Oh, do you want to kick it off, Tony, or you want me to kick it off?
I think I've got some. I have hot off the presses. There are Bachmann has retooled their SD40-2 for
Oh,
N
nice.
scale. And
Very
this,
cool.
looking at it, it looks like, as far as the production phase and the general look of that model, is the same as they retooled this in HO, maybe almost 20 years ago. So this is that same newer SD40-2 look that will replace an SD40-2. I think they first brought out an N scale back when those locomotives were still new and in production at EMD. So this is nothing to those. This is an all new model. And I think it's DCC. I forget if it's also sound,
Wow.
but this is road names out of the first group. So this is a brand new Bachmann SD40-2 coming to N scale.
Very neat.
And I think what we also have SD40-2s from Broadway.
Yes.
There they are. These, I just shot pictures on these today. This is Broadway's SD40-2 that's available now. It's available as Paragon 4. And it's also available in the stealth mode as well. As you can see, they've got ditch lights, if appropriate, snow plows, like the Union Pacific has snow plows front and back. Really nice model. I was impressed with all the lettering on this. This one's heading off to a reviewer. In fact, I dropped it off at the post office this afternoon. And this is the Paragon 4 version of it. And I'm trying to remember where the speaker is. I know this is for the Rolling Thunder, is that cable. But this is the sound equipped version. And I really like how they've got the tubes for the LEDs to feed the lights, which is a nice thing. And then this is the stealth version, the Union Pacific. And as you can see, there's the dummy plugs that runs DC, and they do have speakers in the bottom. I don't know if I got a picture of that. Oh, that's some train company's exclusive that I had running around as my
cool.
I'll talk about that another time. But yeah, they have speakers in the fuel tank on these. So speaker there, ready to go. You can just swap it out to whatever kind of decoder you want to use as DCC sound if you like. And there it is with all the bells and whistles put in it. And that's a brand new run from Broadway Limited. Well, I think they look really sharp. I like the separate grabs on the nose. It's a really sleek, good looking model.
That's awesome. And it's funny. Someone emailed me about getting 2 units, and it's for his own personal layout. It was a different manufacturer, but for his own personal layout. And I checked the numbers. We sold out on some of the numbers already, so I had to reorder. And it's amazing how quickly they're going. Very popular. Wow. But here are all the different paint schemes they come in. SD40-2s from Broadway. They also have the steam engines. The Heavy Pacifics just came in, and lots of different color. You got the War Bonnet, the President Washington. The Christmas engines came in. They just shipped like right after Christmas. They cut it close, but really neat stuff.
And yeah, those are very nice. We have a Light Pacific that I shot pictures on today as well that's going out for review, and really amazing looking pieces from Broadway Limited. I like, their steam both in and HO is just hard to beat. Really nice stuff. And I love all the road names and things that Broadway will get into on some of these releases of, like this Illinois Central has the Operation Lifesaver emblem on the back of the long hood, that they really kind of go for a little extra variety on a lot of their paint schemes, which is a fun thing.
Very cool. And Tony, did you see this one yet? I'm not sure if you got a sample of this, but this is a Christmas T1. I don't think they shipped all the T1s, but they shipped the Christmas one
ahead.
And we we had it here, and the guys were trying to figure out the smoke, and it's wild. N scale with smoke.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it does.
Huh. So it was really neat to try to get that smoke fluid down there. but it it smoked away. It was pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome. No, yeah, I hadn't seen that. I wouldn't be able to get it into print fast enough. So yeah, when they're hustling to get the stuff, I know like Lionel was working to get some of their Christmas things out, and they said, "Yeah, we're barely going to get them to stores. We can't get them to you in time." It's like that happens.
And actually, with Broadway Limited, the T1s, this paint scheme, the Chessie, this has been huge
Wow.
success. Tony, I'm not sure if you could say why or this paint scheme so popular.
And it's real. It's it's not a
Yeah,
fantasy. You remember that they had that in the 70s for the Chessie Steam Special, and it was
special.
really
Yeah.
popular. I think it didn't get, I don't think it's ever gotten the legitimate attention that it's been
Mm,
done on different. I want to say like maybe Bachman at one time or another maybe did their GS4 in Chessie. So
mm,
yeah, there's been steam locomotives close, but to have a real honest to goodness close to this is the prototype and the Chessie paint, I don't think in all the years we've really ever had that. And it ran, I think, late 70s on Chessie and was a really neat. They had a whole passenger train for it and a couple of service or water cars that ran behind that. But yeah, I'm not surprised that it's popular. And Chessie's another one of those that I think it has always got a following, so that helps it too. But I don't
sure.
think we really had that as a legit release before.
Yeah, and it comes with smoke as well.
Hmm.
The smoke, I will say, for N scale, you got to be careful with your expectations because there's only so much smoke fluid it can hold. So
Right.
it's not going to be like a O scale steam engine going around
Mhm.
the layout for like a half hour until you to refill it. It's just very small, but it does smoke, and
It does work.
it's
Wow.
pretty wild. And for them to come up with that technology, I've heard other manufacturers when I inquired about this. We went to Nuremberg maybe like 10 years ago, and I believe Marklin Mini Tricks or N Scale was the first one to come out with it. And I was like, wow, that's unbelievable. That's wild. And I asked a lot of manufacturers over in the States to see if they could do that. They were like, that's impossible. It will never happen. But Broadway, you got to give credit to Bob Gruba.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, kind of pushing the envelope out. Well, like they do with the Rolling Thunder and other things. And you'll see Ken Silvestri when he does the videos. They talk about the fun stuff, like the one water tower that the spout comes down. Again, there's a real fun angle to the mines down in Florida at Broadway Limited producing this stuff. So if
Correct.
someone's going to do smoke and in scale, yeah, probably them. Yeah.
Yep, very neat. And more for N-scale new arrivals. These 840 BWs by Atlas have come in and they are so unique. Atlas has done a great job in N-scale. They have both the DC version and DCC in sound. So lots of great stuff. Just really unique. Silver and gold series, but very cool.
Really nice. I think you've
Lots of
got
different paint
there's
schemes.
Train Masters that just released too from
Yeah.
Atlas and N-scale. Yeah, there and I was gonna say, there you go. It's like, oh yeah, no, that's my picture. Yeah. That this came in this past week. This is a gold series, I believe. You can see the speaker is back here beneath. No, maybe it's silver. I think it's silver looking at the board. No, I'd have
Mm,
to look at the box again. But this is a new run of the Atlas Trainmaster. And again, it is sound ready in the silver DC mode, that either way you'll get this speaker in the back. Trainmaster, of course, Fairbanks Morse in the mid 1950s hit this. They hit higher horsepower than anybody had with this opposed
mm,
piston. I think it was used in like Navy submarines or battleships or something. And they tried the motor out in the Trainmaster, but kind of ahead of its time locomotive and really unique looking. This is Chihuahua Pacific. So, Bandit ordered this one that he needed to have, because when it came out, I'm like, who ordered a Chihuahua Pacific from Atlas? And it's like, oh, Bandit must have wanted that. But anyway, very cool. And this was actually a Delaware Lackawanna and Western and later Erie Lackawanna, and they ended up down in Mexico at the end of their
wow,
careers. But
wow.
and runs beautifully, and nice to see that. I really like now that we're getting, and I think you'll agree, we see this so much now, that a DC model so often, not just the dummy plug, but they're putting that speaker in too.
Hmm.
Because again, that's one of those, well, yeah, maybe I convert it later, but oh, how do I put a speaker in? And do I have to grind down the frame to make room for the speaker? And So they make that so nice and easy now with these sound ready DC models. And what the Broadway does it, Athern's been doing it, Atlas. I mean, it's nice to see that kind of becoming a standard for the DC, that conversion would be a lot easier.
Very neat. Yep, and lots of different paint schemes on these as well. And again, new arrival. So it just came. Actually, Atlas has a lot of new arrivals. Lots of stuff.
This is their 100th anniversary.
Wow.
This year. So yeah, wow.
Very neat. All right. So we got. Also, how about Athern? Athern Challengers just came out.
And I didn't realize these were out. Yeah, I had my assistant editor said, "Hey, are we getting one of those?" I'm like, "What about it?" And they're out. I said, "They're out." So yeah, look at that. Sweet.
And it's amazing. Every time they come in, they sell out so quickly. And I'll show a little. The box is just gorgeous.
Oh, I love the big packaging Athern does on those. Yeah,
just really neat. Actually, one of the guys was taking this out for me. They were like, that's what's in the box. And the box is like,
well, it's a presentation case.
That's right.
And it's all packed in foam. Yeah, but yeah, almost as big as they get. 46664.
Yeah.
And yeah, those were, of course, UP was their thing, but I think Clinchfield had those in the East, and Rio Grande got some basically during World War II. That they wouldn't have bought them otherwise. I think it's more or less a Union Pacific piece, but those couple of roads got to run them to help in the World War II effort. But wow, speaking of Jim Wiggin, I got to ask him about that because my assistant editor's all excited with that.
Yeah, so brand new, and they have the DCC and sound versions as well. So really neat. Beautiful engines. Gorgeous. N scale.
So that's it. That's all the trains. Well, there's nothing for me to buy.
Yeah.
I don't see anything that I would buy.
I think there's still more, Tony, for new arrivals. So let's see here. Kato, we didn't talk. The LC42s, Amtrak. So these, I tell you, Kato is like unbelievable. Everybody goes crazy for Kato. Just the quality. They're just so well known. So lots of good stuff. The big boys.
I was going to say, are you carrying these? Because I've had a couple people ask about, hey, are these out, and are they only? Because for a while there, some of the digital and sound stuff was the Kobo shops, or it was Kato only. And I said, no, I think the DCC sound on these is everywhere.
We got to have Kato back on and talk with the guys from Kato again, because I'm not sure if the sound was done overseas or in America, because I think they were going to try to have it done overseas, possibly. But really neat. The DCC ready version came out, and it was like crazy, the amount of orders, and people wanted it. The sound version is coming soon. They actually had a little snafu with the container. I think someone may have tried to break into it. So it's a good thing the guy, it seemed like he wasn't into trains. So, but they're taking a look and inspecting it as we speak. But lots of good stuff from Kato. Let's see what else.
A track, I would just go on eBay and look for the guy somewhere like around Long Beach, California, that's selling like 500 Kato big boys. Like, hey, wait a minute. Yeah.
That's right. And then Bachman N scale Gordon. You won't even imagine the amount of pre-orders. The Thomas fandom has spoken. They want N scale and Gordon. And he's a big engine, I tell you.
And you do what your Thomas show is. It's on Tuesdays, but how many times a month, or when?
Once a month. And
once a month, okay.
I tell Bachman just keeps on making so much great Thomas products, so it's really neat to have. And I think I'm trying to think what else. The day one, from Kato. N scale, this is going to be a huge, very popular. I don't think anyone's done this paint scheme in N scale. Rapido did it in HO scale, and it was just unbelievable. Beautiful. The amount of pre-orders. So make sure you jump on that. And last but not least, SD60Es.
Oh,
We
yeah.
can't forget about these. These have been long awaited, but lots of pre-orders on these. And once they come out, they're going to be going out like crazy. So
Absolutely. Yeah, what that's got the first responders, and then the
mhm,
other one maybe is police
honoring,
is the blue.
yep, honoring the
Honor
vet.
our veterans.
Yep, yep.
And then is that one an eco? What's the green one? The one that's kind of a fluorescent green, I think is.
Yes, the Go Rail.
Yeah. So at least 3 different special, and all these
Yeah,
are prototype, I believe, for NS. And again,
yeah,
that whole unit with that kind of different cab on it is an NS piece that for the 60M is now a 60E with that
that's right.
cab that Atlas tooled up. So
Yep.
that's awesome. Yeah.
And I think that about
That's
does it
it.
for that's
Yeah.
it. But tons of stuff, I tell you.
Wow. Okay. All right.
The amount of new arrivals, 15,000 new arrivals that came into stock. So when people ask, oh well, can you carry this, 15,000 new arrivals within the past 90 days. So
I believe it. I
out,
believe it. It's
out,
been that it has been crazy. And
out,
always great deals. Always great deals on a lot of this
yeah,
stuff too. So yeah, I'll
yeah.
be looking for that.
Over 3,000 items on sale, special, and pre-orders. Over 7,000 items you could pre-order. So
Wow.
tons of product. And this is not, just without the in-stock product. So tons of options for everybody out there. And Tony, we actually updated. We made a tweak to the customer account. So for great customers like you, for your pre-orders, it's going to be easier for you to track your pre-orders.
Oh,
So
nice.
we made a nice new tab for our customers for
Yeah.
pre-orders on their account page. So you'll be able to really track that and know what you have coming in. Because
I love that. That's awesome. I've been meaning to ask you and talk to you about that because there are
yeah,
times I go in and I see all the invoice numbers and I start clicking them open like, what was
yeah,
this? What was that? I'm looking, and a lot of them, if they're pre-order, the dollar amount's zeroed, or so I can't even guess. Like, I don't know what that might, so trying to figure out, but that's awesome. Very cool.
we
I will spin around and take a look at that.
it's funny because I was talking to someone else about it, and he was he's a very good customer, spends a lot of money, and he's like, I don't know if it's good or bad. Good because I know what I could now order more, and then for me, I was like, well, maybe it may be bad. Maybe people think they have too much on order. He's like, but
No.
I think for the train guys, I think they're gonna appreciate it, and
I would,
really,
I know, I
really
can
like
tell you,
it.
yeah, it would not affect. In fact, yeah, that's a lot of times I start to order something and think, boy, I think I did order this. And then I'm having to click through the things to try to find, it's like, oh, yeah, okay, I did. But,
That's right. So
very cool.
lots of great stuff. And make sure you head over to White River Production. Let's see, right here. White River Production for all your great magazines, Model Railroad News, all the great stuff, and also modeltrainresource.com. So you could go ahead and great resources. Tony is a wealth of knowledge, and just having him on video is not doesn't do it justice. He has so many great articles and publications and websites. So definitely go check him out. But
Awesome. Wow.
yeah. But what
We
a
got
new
a big,
year!
we got a big year ahead of us. Yeah, absolutely. Just starting.
2024 should kick off with a bang,
Looks
and
like it.
lots of great stuff.
Well, looking forward to it, Ken. I hope your cold continues to improve. I'm glad I'm feeling a little bit, but I'm ready for spring. That's always me. Once you get past like New Year's, like, okay, get rid of the ham, the turkey, whatever. And in fact, I was at some place the other day asking, when are you putting out the lawn and garden aisle? And I think she said, well, we're putting Valentine's out now. I said, well, then lawn and garden can't be far behind. That's always, okay, spring must be coming. Yeah.
That's it. Well, Tony, you could always be my Valentine, and I appreciate it. All the hard work you do for the industry, hopping on all these shows, and always making time for us. We really appreciate it. But we're really excited for this upcoming year. We have a lot of stuff up our sleeve. Lots of deals upcoming. So make sure you stay tuned. So we really appreciate it. And Tony, thank you for always being such a great guest and help putting together these shows. So I'm really looking forward to another year.
Highlight of my day, because I work here on the magazines and such, so it's always fun to get to visit with you and see what's happening and go over some of the new train stuff. And Monday is the day to be in Lynbrook for the visit with Jason Schron from Rapido.
Yes,
right, Trainland. So don't forget that, folks. That's coming up. What was the other one? Oh, and as I told you, I got to confirm the address, but my Black Bonnet GP30 NHO, when it comes in, I will definitely have an unboxing where I will ooh and awe and show it. I'll have that on my YouTube channel at Model Train Resource. The day I get that, I'll bust that open and we'll take a look at it. So I'm eager to see it.
And I forgot the biggest news, Tony. Tony and I were on the What's Happening in Model Railroading, December 2023, Around the Layout podcast with Ray Arnett. Was really gracious to have myself and Tony. So big shout out to Ray and his podcast. If you're looking for a podcast to listen in on work or traveling, like I always do, it was a great show, and I was really appreciative that he had me on. So
it was great to ask. He said, I want to have somebody that can talk to us about hobby stuff and right around the holidays. I'm like, I can only think of one person.
and it's crazy because I wanted to publish and promote it even sooner, but it was like holidays. It was so crazy during that 1-2 week stretch. But he does a great job, and you along being on the show as well just really made it special.
I stop in about once a month with folks like you and talk about new products, and that's Around the Layout podcast with Ray Arnott. And his other shows all the time I'm always intrigued with, because he talks about, and visits with guys building model railroads and kind of gets that backstory and how they got interested in it. So it's a fun podcast worth checking out.
And with that, we'll head to the new year.
There we go. All right.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much. And again, you can get all these products at trainworld.com. If you're looking for more news, education, make sure you check out Tony Cook, modeltrainresource.com, or Model Railroad News, or shop.White River Productions. Really appreciate you joining on, Tony. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night and Happy New Year. Take care.